So a transgender woman has come out and exposed rapper Kevin Gates for sleeping with them.
So he came and he was like, let's go to dinner. And I was like, okay, just like text me where. And he had like 4 phones. He was saying like El Chapo was watching me. And I was like, okay.
And I 100% believe everything that she said. He said. I believe every single thing that he said.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
About Kevin Gates. Because it's Kevin Gates. And it's not very hard to believe that Kevin Gates would do something like this if you know Kevin Gates, right? If you followed his career, right? But that's not even the purpose of this video. A member of the trans community has called out this transgender woman for exposing Kevin Gates. And I 100% stand behind this transgender woman for calling out the first transgender woman for exposing Kevin Gates for the reason that he listed. I 100% agree with it. But that's not even the purpose of this video, believe it or not. As shocking as both of those two things are. The bigger purpose of this video is that I believe, and I don't know why or how, that this transgender woman or person can come on camera, talk about their encounter of doing something like this to a person without being charged for it. This person should be in jail. Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast. Man, welcome back to another episode of Ruling Class Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Didi, back up in this bitch with another video. Listen, if you're new to the show, please know your boy is thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Please, please, please hit that like button. I feel like y'all hear me say that at the beginning, but nobody ever really likes the video. Please hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you. So look, Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates has always been one of the most interesting personalities in all of hip hop for like the last decade. And I've talked about him several times on this channel, or at least a couple of times on this channel before, because if you listen to Kevin Gates in interviews, he sounds like the most intellectual, and not just because he uses big words, but no, if you listen to the things he talks about as far as like semen retention, you know, working out, taking care of your health, you know, your diet, changing your diet, you know, just the lifestyle that you're supposed to live, being a Muslim, spirituality. If you listen to this man, you'll swear he's the most positive person ever. He's very respectful in interviews. And then his next song will come out and he's talking about the most destructive. And before y'all want to hop in the comment section and defend this man, I'm not talking about just destructive music because it's entertainment and it's just music. Even though music is the only thing on this planet that can enter the subconscious without a human being's permission, if you didn't know that. But nonetheless, y'all act like music can influence people's behavior. But anyways, Kevin Gates will say the most intellectual, positive things and give the best life advice in interviews. And then his very next records, he's talking about selling the most drugs, being the biggest drug dealer, being plugged in with the cartel. He's talking about shooting people. He's talking about all these hood lifestyle politics. That makes no sense. It's confusing, but I digress. Kevin Gates has been exposed by a transgender woman who claims that he slept with this person, right? And as I've already stated, I believe them. And this story is old. It's been out for a few weeks, but that's not even my biggest problem. Because as I listened to this interview and I listened to how this person laughed and was just goofy and giggly about the whole story.
I'm not like, so he came and he was like, let's go to dinner. And I was like, okay, just like text me where. And he had like 4 phones. He was saying like El Chapo was watching me. And I was like, okay. And we were in his car. He was playing me his new album. He was on Instagram Live. And in my brain, I'm like, dude, he shows me on live. And I'm like, ugh, I just know one of like the fans from Iowa, like where I'm from.
That
like,
is a dude.
Yeah, like that's a male. And it was just one of those situations where I almost looking so deep into like my soul and my like 9 different holes that like he asked like, do you want to come home with me? He was kind of just like, get in my car.
And they just, I mean, that's how they always are.
No, they don't ask, you go.
Yeah. Energy, like ashwagandha, like the whole 9. Honestly, and I told him I was trans, like mid, like spread eagle, like flap scars and all. Like I literally.
How did you bring that
honestly,
up? Like,
I was just
mid-sex. What?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm squirting. He's like, no, you're not. Not kidding. Like spread eagle. I think he was like eating me out or something. And then in my brain, he like stopped, and I'm like, oh, he knows my clit looks different. Like he was like,
taking a breath.
Yeah, no, he's not out of breath that quick. Let me get this man an oxygen tank. But he was like, can I ask you something? And I go, yeah. And he was like, are you trans? And I go, and I was just like, I was so drunk. Like,
come on.
There, like,
What gives you that idea?
And and I was laying there and I go, you caught me. And he literally was like, baby, I don't give a God raised all of us equal, all this stuff. And I was like, that makes you so much more attractive.
Another transgender woman saw this interview and decided to come out and call this person out. So let's go and see what they said. This person says, can't claim you're a woman, then sensationalize your sexual encounter for shock value. If you trans and you out here running to social media blogs to detail your sexual experience with celebrity men, I have a question for you. What is the reason? Because you can't claim you're a quote-unquote woman, then sensationalize your sexual encounters for shock value. Don't be the continuous part of the quote-unquote down low stigma men are forced to adhere to surrounding their sexuality. So again, I've stated that there is no safe space on any front for the men to live their authentic lives. The women won't accept them. The men won't accept them. The trans want to out them. And I 100% agree with everything they said. I don't agree with the lifestyle. I think the entire lifestyle is wicked, right? I don't adhere, I don't support, I don't condone any of that type of lifestyle. I am a follower of Jesus Christ, so I don't even follow that lifestyle. But if you are going to be engaged in a consensual encounter and romantic relationship, one night stand, whatever it may be with a person, and you don't tell that person that you're the opposite sex of what you portraying yourself to be, that's grape. There's no other way to put that. That's grape. Do you understand? As this person sit there and laughs about this encounter with Kevin Gates, do you understand that this is what makes people do the craziest things? You're talking about in the middle of doing it, he stopped and asked you, and you was like, oh, you got me. It's like, you could have, like, the worst could have happened for you in that moment. If this actually happened, you do realize that's the most dangerous situation to be in. You don't do that to people, right? And I don't know, I don't understand how you can feel comfortable enough to come on the internet and talk about this and feel like nothing can happen to you. And I don't mean like as far as like your health and safety, but I'm talking about your freedom. How can you not be charged for doing this? Imagine a man coming out and talking like Cardi B and saying that they're drugging women.
I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you want to me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drop this up and I rob them. That's what I used to do.
Right? Taking women's money and taking advantage of women, bragging about it in interviews. Imagine coming out and saying something like that. It would be a completely different story. But for some reason, because you're portraying yourself to be a woman, that's how I feel. Because you're portraying yourself to be a woman and you did this to a man, then it just goes over everybody's head and nobody feels like justice should be served here. If Kevin Gates felt like, or feels like, if this actually happened, for one, which I don't really have much of a reason to believe that it didn't. And two, if this actually happened, if Kevin Gates feel like he was tricked. Now, a lot of you out there may say, well, bro, it's very difficult for somebody to trick you like that. And I would agree, but everybody's not the same, right? To be devil's advocate. I feel like if I'm talking to a man who's presenting himself as a woman and they have not told me that, I'm able to pick up all the clues and the signs, whether it's your voice, whether it's something about your body, something about something. Something's going to feel off to me. Right, I will be able to tell just in engaging in a conversation with you. I feel like I can tell. But you do have some transgenders out there that have some very impressive work done where maybe they can fool somebody. Never forget what happened to Lil Boosie.
Let me show you something real quick. This is a new model that's in Sports Illustrated. What do you think of her right here?
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Digging that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. This right here is Valentina Sampio, who was the first transgender Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Oh my God. Black, you dirty as you dirty as
And that's one of the most hilarious things I've seen all year because he's went in on the trans community. But anyways, that's basically what this video is about because I don't really care to talk about celebrities and this channel isn't about gossiping. This is more about, engaging with somebody and you feeling like this is proof to me that in today's society, everything is about attention. Everything is about views, clicks, and likes, right? And you feel like coming out and outing this man for the purpose, what it appears to me, of giggles and likes and fun. I don't even understand how you're comfortable to do that because in my opinion, you should be charged for this. But y'all in the comment section, y'all give me y'all thoughts, man. Do y'all feel like this is great? Do y'all feel like this person should be charged for engaging in an encounter with somebody before telling them that, hey, I'm a transgender, right? I think that's extremely important to tell people. So y'all let me know in the comment section, man. Till next time, peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.